You're listening to the Live Free podcast. I'm your host, Christine, certified life coach, pain to power mentor, and creator of Embody You Mindset Mastery School. I'm here today to discuss living life after disease, disaster, or adversity, to discuss living life fully once again, a life of hope, peace, and resiliency, a life fully embodied. I utilize the lessons that I learned going through not one, but two primary cancers. I'm here today to guide you to the life of your dreams, turn your pain into power, and lead you back to yourself.
Hello and welcome to another episode. Today I want to talk about sleep and the importance of it and how to get more. This is a topic that is often requested within my support group, and it is important to have this conversation because we just aren't getting enough sleep in order to heal as quickly as we'd like to. And this seems like a really unimportant issue because there's so many more issues, but sleep and quality of sleep is tied to everything. So unable to lose weight, look into your sleep. Unable to get that foggy mind back on track, look into your sleep. If you're feeling stressed all the time and have anxiety, look at your sleep. If you have inflammation in your blood markers and you're not able to get that inflammation down, look into your sleep. Sleep is so important. It is where we rest and recuperate, and there just isn't enough support around sleep. So today I'm going to talk about a couple of tips that is going to help you to understand how you can get more of it. And so there's two major issues that most people have when it comes to lack of sleep. Interestingly, most of the time it's one or the other. However, sometimes it's both. So there is getting to sleep, the initial, and staying asleep. And those two issues can sometimes be different from one another. So let's talk about some of the tips and tricks to fall asleep, and then some of the tips and tricks to stay asleep. So to fall asleep, I know it's not easy, but it is important to create an environment that is conducive to sleeping. Because so often, and I know I'm guilty of this, we work or we do the thing that we need to do in life as hard as we can until the very last minute of the day, and then suddenly we are exhausted, but we need to go to sleep. But your mind is still racing. So there's a few things. You're going to want to slow down the amount of high energy things that you're doing before bed. Ideally 2 to 4 hours ahead of time. So if you like working until late into the night, then ideally slow that down 2 to 4 hours before. If you like watching TV and big exciting episodes, try to slow those down before 2 to 4 hours. If you like looking at your phone and scrolling, try to set that aside 2 to 4 hours. So what can you do then? Ideally, it's wonderful if you can have a lower light setting. So your lights aren't quite as bright in your house. They're a little bit more on the dim side. Maybe you're reading a great book. Maybe you're having a great conversation. Perhaps you're doing a puzzle or painting or something that isn't quite as stimulating would be ideal. And I get it, we all have busy lives and families, but all the more reason for you to be able to set that electronic down and try to get a better environment. If you can read books to your kids before they go to bed, that's another great opportunity for slowing down that electronic, because the blue light in an electronic that emits through the phone is telling your body through your eyes that it's time to be awake. Because that blue light is telling us that it's daytime. And so our body stops producing melatonin and our circadian rhythm says it's daytime. So you are unable to get that proper sleep that you really, really need, because it takes so long from when you set that phone down or turn off that episode or whatever it is that you're doing in a high intensity way that's causing all of this excitement in your body and pushing out the pleasure hormone and all of these sorts of things. So you try to come down from that, but it takes a period of time for your body to get tired again, for it to register that it's nighttime. And so it might be difficult for you to fall asleep. It might be 20 minutes, it might be 2 hours since you put down that electronic. So ideally, if you can, try to switch your night routine into something that isn't quite so stimulating. It's not easy. So many of us scroll through our phones before we go to bed, and I get that. I know that I've been guilty of it for sure, but it is a remarkable difference in the quality of sleep and the ability to fall asleep when that happens. So important stuff. Ideally, if you can, plug your phone in a different room, because without knowing that you can easily reach for that phone, your mind and your system may calm down to the point where it says, oh, well, I can't scroll through Facebook because this phone isn't actually present. And you might have a more consistent and longer sleep as a result. So that's a big one. So digital devices, gone. Turning your lights down low, we talked about that, gone. Another one is slowing down the amount of eating that you're doing right before you go to bed, because when you are digesting, you are not resting. So even if you manage to fall asleep after eating a larger snack before you go to bed, in that time, your body is not able to do the rest and recuperation that it needs to do in order for your body to get the type of healing that it wants to have. So when you are digesting, you are not resting. So ideally, again, 2 to 4 hours before you go to bed, if you can slow down the amount of food that you're eating, it's going to make a really big difference for your quality of sleep. Now, some people ask, is it chocolate? Is it sugar? Is it this? Is it that? What it really comes down to is that it's food in general. And so if you can have some really light, easy to digest foods before bed, if you're feeling hungry, that's going to do a lot more for you while you're sleeping. So that's things like smoothies, yogurt, light things, applesauce. If you're wanting something to eat before you go to bed, you're going to want to have something that's really easy and quick to digest. Something I wouldn't recommend would be things like meat, really fibrous fruits and vegetables, all of these types of things that we think that we're doing the right thing, but our body needs to break those down. And so therefore we are not fully resting, and it may cause sleep disturbances. So as little as you can do is going to make a benefit for you. Some other ones that are really great, we talked about reading, but another thing is to make your bedroom a haven for sleep. So having a TV in the room, not effective at all. Going into bed and that's where you snack, not effective. Your bedroom should be a haven for sleep. That's its purpose. So soft pillows, a nice mattress topper. Spend the money on the mattress topper. You are living in this bed half of your life. It's important for you to be comfortable. So nice, comfortable mattress topper. I know that we have a lot of hot flashes with cancer treatment. And so a nice cooling mattress topper is really effective. I love mine. It is like a gel cooling mattress topper. And I find I sleep a world better since I got that. So that can make a really big difference for you. Additionally, creating an environment that is for sleep and sexual intercourse is so important as well. So having that connection with your partner can help to bring down stress. It can help to make you feel better while sleeping, get a deeper sleep. And I know that, again, with the cancer community, sex can be so painful. And so I understand where you are at with that. And so maybe it isn't sex, but a sexual-like act. Maybe it's cuddling, maybe it's connection, whatever it is. Creating an environment where your bedroom is for only those two things is going to make a really big difference for the amount of sleep and quality of sleep that you will get as a result. Some other ones that are really great are gratitude, meditations, and soft music. So these ones, not everybody has the time for, but even a few minutes can make a really big difference. So putting down some slower music while you're brushing your teeth. I know I really love having like a little Google Home speaker in my bedroom, because what I'll do is I'll say to the speaker, play relaxation music for 10 minutes and then turn off. And that's really great because it'll play the music for 10 minutes and then it turns off. And so then I can go to sleep to that nice relaxing music, or I can brush my teeth and wash my face, do the things that I need to do while listening to that relaxing music. So that makes a really big difference for slowing down the nervous system and preparing you for sleep. That can be really effective. Going through a meditation, even just a few minutes, I get we're busy, but even just a few minutes of doing a nice meditation where you recall the day. I really like guided meditations. So I'll do guided gratitude meditations where I go through my day and I thank myself for the things I was able to do, the things I wasn't able to do, and just really create an effective way of pulling gratitude into my life, well, getting myself into a really good and conscious state, ready to sleep. So it's really two birds, one stone. A guided meditation on gratitude is your gratitude journaling and your meditation in one. So I really, really appreciate that. But whatever works for you, whatever is your version of going through your gratitudes and preparing for the following day with gratitude so that you can wake up in a good state, is going to be really, really effective. So low light, soft music, guided meditations, all great ways to help yourself get into a state of proper, relaxed sleep. Warm tea, hot water is excellent and can really stimulate sleep. I really like ginger and lemon before I go to sleep. I find that really nice and relaxing. It is good for digestive, so then you're digesting quicker and smoother while you're sleeping, so now you're resting and not digesting. I really enjoy the lemon. A little bit of honey I really enjoy as well. I find it very soothing, and I traditionally will use a Manuka honey because there's really good enzymes in there that are really good at settling things like acid reflux and GERD, so that can really slow things down, coat the throat. It's just a really nice way to go to bed. So I really enjoy a ginger lemon tea before I go to bed. Chamomile is really popular for a lot of people as well, for a nice sleep tea that's going to help relax that body. But whatever is best for you, whatever you enjoy, just stay away from the sugary things because they're going to energize you, which is going to have an opposite effect of what you'd like it to have. And finally, there are supplements. So lots of supplements are really, really helpful for sleep. For falling asleep, melatonin is a great one. Now, melatonin is, as far as we know, and this is just within my research of working in a health food store, as far as we know with melatonin, it is non-addictive. If you stop it, your body goes back to creating its own melatonin. However, it can just help the body to signal that it's time for sleep. And generally, it only sits in your system for about 20 minutes and then it's gone. So it's going to help you, it's going to come on fast, and it's going to help you to fall asleep. Another really beautiful part about melatonin that I was told by my naturopathic doctor is that in certain therapeutic doses, it can be preventative for the growth of tumors. So an excellent thing to ask your naturopathic doctor is, how can you utilize melatonin in your prevention plan, as well as helping you to fall asleep? Some people take sleep medications. This is not a shameful thing. Sometimes you just need that extra little perk. That being said, I know sleep medications can be addictive, so perhaps try melatonin first if you're having a difficult time sleeping. But all of these other things that I've mentioned, the low light, the creating a haven for sleep, taking away the digital devices, all of these sorts of things are going to prime your mind and body for sleep in a way that is going to radically change the amount of sleep that you're actually getting and how quickly it takes to fall asleep. So this is going to be hugely supportive, and so much more supportive than you even know, for giving you the amount of sleep that you need. Now, another one that we have a lot of problems with as survivors is staying asleep. And this is a two-part answer. So one, it's because maybe you didn't give yourself a good environment before you went to sleep. You were thinking, your mind was racing, you weren't able to slow down. And you didn't do any of those practices. You ate, whatever it is that you did. And so you never got into that deep sleep in the first place. And so you stay at this lighter level of sleep all night, and you're not getting this quality, deep brainwave sleep that we need in order for rest and repair. So that's one, is that your falling asleep regime wasn't very good. The second one is that maybe you are in a chronic stress state of high cortisol, stress, and anxiety. And so even if you've done all of the things that I've offered to fall asleep and you're still waking up, it could be because your nervous system is in a constant state of high alert. And so there's lots of different really supportive supplements that you can take to calm the nervous system so that your body is allowing of that 8 hours or whatever it is that you're desiring. And so some of the supplements that I recommend after talking to doctors and those types of things for sleep is things like passion flower can be really, really good for slowing down the body. I like a blend called Cortisol Manager that I take that has PSS phosphatidylserine, I believe it's called. And I really enjoy that one as well. Magnesium is just excellent all around. It's always excellent for sleep. However, there are some that can cause digestive issues. So I usually recommend bisglycinate because it's just more effective for all the things you want it to be without causing any issues. Additionally, some other effective supplements can be, I'm trying to think of ones that don't, like some of them will connect with cancer and make it worse because they will help with hormones. So if you have a hormone positive cancer, you're not going to want to take them. But off the top of my head, I would say those are some of the biggest ones that I personally take and enjoy. Lemon balm is another one that I take, and I feel safe to take it after running it through my naturopathic doctor. So all of these can be really supportive for helping you stay asleep, which is just so important. Now, another one is hot flashes. We all have so many hot flashes and they might be waking you up. So lots of cotton sheets, cotton blankets, running a fan, having your air conditioning run throughout the night. All of these things can be really effective for getting a nice sleep. My mattress topper, the cooling gel one I told you about, made a really big difference for me. So that was another big one that I thought was really, really effective for helping me to get a better quality of sleep and more consistent sleep. But another one that I found is that my hot flashes were very much connected to my lack of exercise and my stress response. And so as much as I was able to exercise more during the day and also find a way to help lower my stress response, the more effective it became for my hot flashes going down and my sleep quality going up. So as much as it's great to use all of the cotton and all the light and all the fans and all the things, it is good, but where's the root cause of what's causing these hot flashes to be so intense? And so for me, it was stress. And so as I got my stress under control with diet, exercise, and supplements, I then began to lower the amount of hot flashes that I had during the night as well. Okay, so that's kind of my list. There are a few tips in there, a few tricks in there. Find the one that calls to you. Maybe I've said something new today, maybe I haven't. But I mean, really look at yourself and say, yeah, I know all that, but how much of it are you really doing? How much of it have you really tried? So it's important to hear these things, but then to implement them, because nothing changes if nothing changes, right? So I hope that these have been helpful for you. I will write them all in the show notes so that you have them. And as always, reach out to me if you have questions, and always talk to your healthcare team before starting any supplements that I've mentioned today. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope you have a beautiful sleep this evening. Okay, bye.
Thank you so much for listening. If you found expansion with this last episode, then that means that others will too. And the best way to get the word out about the podcast is by leaving a review. I would be so grateful if you could leave me a review and let me know how you felt about the podcast. Included in the show notes will be everything that we talked about today, including all of my transformative programs. Change is just on the horizon, my friend.